Book Dragons. So this vlog is going to be a bit of piecemeal. So I am in the middle of 3 things. I'm in the middle of Mel from Eleanor Rees, her Witch Apothecary readathon. I'm also trying to finish up 4 Paws and Bookshelves, or I keep them called Paws and Bookshelves from Leandra from TBR0. And I'm also trying to catch up on all of, and then the Wicked readathon from Brittany Loves Reading. So I have a lot of books I'm in the middle of, and also it is Onyx Storm week. So we are going to look at what I'm currently reading, just what I'm currently reading, to see what is the goal for this weekend. So I am currently reading Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. That is one book I'm reading. And I'm also currently reading Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, which I have made some progress on. So these are the 2 books that I'm reading. So the next thing you are going to see is me talking about these books and how I got to reading them. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to have a bit of a check-in, and I'm going to do check-ins on both of these books. And then I'm going to tell you what prompts I'm reading for everything in the whole scheme of things, okay? Hi Book Dragons! So we are back! We are going to do my final week of Paws and Bookshelves, but from Leandra from TBR0. This is my 3rd or 4th vlog, I think, but I am right at the end. As long as nothing bad occurs, which, you know, could happen. That could occur. So yeah, I am currently in the middle of reading no physical books. I'm also reading Fourth Wing for another vlog, and I'm also listening to Warm Hands of Ghost by Catherine Arden for the first vlog. I'm just restarting it. So we are on Dog and a Title, and I don't really know what I want this vlog to be because my goal is to finish Paws and Bookshelves this week. So yeah, we are on DOG and Title, so I'm gonna roll and we're gonna see what prompt we get, and we're gonna go from there. All right, I will be honest, I am nervous about this for sure because there's a couple of timbers on here that I'm a little bit nervous about. So, oh, okay. So we got a 3. 1, 2, 3. This actually works out perfect. So I just have to read a book rec, which is funny because all of the books that I've been reading and want to read are host favorites and are booktuber favorites. So we're gonna do another booktuber favorite for this square, and maybe I'll just keep the booktuber favorites going. I have no idea, but that is where we are. So we are on book rack. We're inching closer to some long drops, so I get a little bit nervous about that. But let me go figure out a booktuber that I haven't like read anything by. So I've read Mel, Cassidy, and Meg. So I'm gonna kind of pick someone new and different and a physical book that I have. So let me go check out my spreadsheet and see what I can find, and then we'll pick a book. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, which was a Tori from Tori's Novel Life Rack. And I'm excited to dive into this book. It's a little bit shorter. This was indie published. I do have my indie copy somewhere, but I got the new pretty edition. And I just heard about this book and I was like so intrigued. So I think I'm going to pick up Fear the Flames for book rack. And then this may be my final book for Fall Paws and Bookshelves, but I have to read one more for Favorite Trope anyway, unless we have some disaster. So I'm going to read 50 pages of this and try to get my bearings on the story. I've only heard Tori talk about this, so I'm really excited to see if I like it, but I was really intrigued by it. So I'm going to go make sure my bullet journal stuff is all set up to date because a lot of my reading is not what I said it was. So I'm going to go read 50 pages of this. I'm going to go watch a little bit of Bridgerton, and I will give you an update when I've read 50 pages. Bye. Hi, Book Dragon. So I am back. Last night when I was kind of doing some things, I did wind up finishing Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros for this vlog, and I'm gonna give this book 5 stars. I think this book was a solid read. I really liked it on the first time I reread it. I think it was solid. I think it was fun. I love the characters. I love the dragon dynamics, and I just had a fun time with it. Like, I feel like this book, I think I liked it more on reread because I really did grow to like Xaden and Violet's relationship, and I had a fun time with it. I think this book is very, very bloodthirsty, so I did get teared up at the end at a certain character's death and demise, but I also remembered a little bit more about Iron Flame, which I don't really remember much of, so I'm definitely not going to read this Iron Flame all day today, but I did start and I'm like 2 chapters in. So what I'm going to do, and I'm kind of not over this board, but I kind of want to count Iron Flame if I can. So right now I am on book rack, and I'm gonna roll this, and if worst comes to worst and it doesn't go the way I want, then I will just exit out. But I want to see what my next roll is, if it will count for Iron Flame. Okay, so I'm gonna roll 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I got to the end of the board, which means I have to do a favorite trope, which I think I'm just going to count my book from my other vlog. So yeah, I am done. My favorite trope is going to be a animal companion or a quest theme or like a heist theme story. So I'm going to count that for the next one. But yeah, I did pause and bookshelves, and I'm going to mention that in my other vlog as well. So my goal is to read like 5 chapters or like a couple of chapters in Iron Flame. I have to go to the dentist today, and I don't think that that's a dentist themed book. I can't focus when I'm at the dentist very much. I'm like just nervous. So maybe I'll pick up like an audiobook that like I don't care about, and I'll listen to that. But once I read like 10 chapters of that, I will give you guys my update. It is a reread, but I don't have much memory of that. So I will be back when I have an update. Bye. Hi book dragons, I am back. I did wind up reading to page 62 in Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, and I'm loving this book. I am having such a fun time with this book, and I think it's just such a unique story. Like, I'm really liking it. So basically I have a character, and she is she was basically at her birth, she had these dragon eggs that were put at her bassinet, and then due to that, the dragons kind of bonded to her, and it made her father and her mother super nervous. Something happened when she was 5 that made her be taken away from her dragons, and her dragons were kind of put in like a cage, and she was basically brutalized. So she wound up escaping with a couple of people, and she found a best friend. She's kind of in this little area that's not her kingdom, but she's kind of the ruler of this little kingdom. She's there with her best friend, and she winds up trying to figure out what is happening to her current kingdom, what is happening to her dragons. She really wants to get her dragons back, and she winds up encountering the adversaries, like her countries, her adversaries general, and they decide to team up to kind of work together. And that's all that I've read. So I'm having a fun time with this. I also did roll. I'll probably put the roll somewhere. So I did wind up rolling again, because I am about to start another audiobook that I wanted to count. But I get to the end of the board, and this is honestly like my favorite trope. Like, I love heist novels. I love allies to more. So I'm going to count this as favorite trope, and I am done with Bookish Bingo, which I'm so excited about. I'm going to see how this week goes, to be very, very honest. And I may just go down to lowest rated and do the end of it if I have a little bit more time. But yeah, that is the plan. So I'm having a really, really fun time with this. I like that we have a main character that is a best friend. And going into it, I know that it's not going to be a romance, so I won't be like upset. I'll be curious to see if he has feelings for her as like more than a friend, because then I may struggle with that a little bit, just because the best friend always gets the short end of the stick. But I am liking the vibes, I am liking the banter, I am liking the world, I am liking the writing. I'm having a fun time. I'm really happy I picked this book up. So I'm going to go read. I have to go to the dentist today, which is never my favorite location. And nothing else is happening today. It's Martin Luther King Day. So if you sense my sarcasm, I'm going to read all day, go to the dentist, maybe make some content on TikTok. We'll see. Now the TikTok is back, which is a political stunt in and in itself, but I got a lot more followers, so that was fun. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna go read to page 100 of this. If I can update before I go to the dentist, I will. We also got a little bit of snow last night, so the puppy's outside, thrilled in her best life. But yeah, I'm really, really liking this. I also finished watching Bridgerton season 3, which means I'm good until about May for like a rewatch. I won't probably rewatch again until May. But I'm watching like a couple of shows that just came out to see which one I really, really like. So I'm watching some doctor shows. It's been a while since I've watched a doctor show, and those are sometimes my favorite. So yeah, So yeah, but I finished Paws and Bookshelves. Yay! Or I will when I finish this book. So I will talk to you guys when I have another update on Fear the Flames. Bye. Hi, Book Dragons. I am back. I just want to do a quick update. I wound up going to the dentist. I have no cavities, which is really, really nice. So I did wind up getting up to page 101 or 103, I guess. And I did wind up getting up to part 2, which is called The Alliance. And I'm having a really, really fun time with this book. This book is giving me a lot of vibes that I like. It's giving me cozy vibes because there is a lot happening in this story right off the bat. And I do say the world building, I think, or the, I think it could be paced a bit weird, but I'm having a great time with it. Like, you follow this main character who, and this character does have a lot of anxiety, a lot of issues because when the whole thing happened with her dragons and she was taken from her dragons, it was very, very traumatic and she was sort of traumatized. And then her dragons were taken away from her and she was kind of put in like the dungeons and she was very, very traumatized. So there's a lot of anxiety infused in her. She kind of got taken away by her uncle. Her mom passed away due to something that happened with the dragons. And she kind of went to live in this little society with her uncle and her best friend. And then one day she's kind of trying to figure out what is happening to her dragons and get more information. And she meets up with the leader of the resistance army. And now she's kind of forced to work with them. And they're kind of going to this town to kind of find out what happened, to kind of plan a heist to get her dragons back. I'm having a fabulous time. Like, I'm really, really liking this book. I think that it has enough plot to keep me going, but it also has some cozier vibes. The banter is fun. Like, it's not hate to more because it's just fun. Like, they're reluctant allies. They're kind of forced to work together. And I'm just having a fun time with it. Like, I really am. It's a quick read. I don't want to put it down, which is really, really good. So I'm going to read the next 100 pages and give you guys an update. I may give you an update when I get up to page 150 and just see how I'm feeling. But I'm having a fun time with this. I'm going to be real honest. I don't know what this vlog is going to look like, to be very honest. So I'm just going to put this, you'll figure out when I see the vlog, but it's either going to be in BookTuber favorites or a dragon themed vlog. So yeah, I'm going to go read a little bit more. I'm going to definitely diamond paint a little bit later for Iron Flame, which I'm also reading. But yeah, I'm having a fun time with this one. And I think it's scratching my itch for cozier books, because a lot of the books I have been reading have been very, like, not connectable, but I love the characters, so I really, really do like that as well. And yeah, I'm just having fun. So I'm gonna go read a bit more, watch my new Star Wars show, and yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hi, Book Dragons. Alright, so this is gonna be kind of a hodgepodge vlogs, trying to accomplish a bunch of different tasks. So I am in my last week of Paws and Bookshelves by Leandra from TPR0. You are going to see a lot of clips in this that I'm kind of coming in to kind of tell you what's happening. So when I rolled for my last 2 rolls for Paws and Bookshelves, I got 2 prompts. I got book rack, and then I got to the finish line. It may be in here, it may not be in here, but the book I'm reading for book rack was sort of supposed to be for BookTuber favorites, but it's just going to go in this vlog. So I'm reading Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, okay? This is the book I'm picking up. I'm going to, so you guys are going to see my clips at some point in this vlog where I'm kind of chit-chatting about it. This is the book. The book I'm going to read for favorite trope, or that is going to kind of finish my board, is The Baby Dragon Cafe. I have not started that. So that is for Paws and Bookshelves. I'm going to wrap up Paws and Bookshelves this week. Also, I am doing a reread of Iron Flame and Fourth Wing. So the next series of clips you're going to see is me rereading Fourth Wing and my complete thoughts. You're going to see a couple of clips of me chatting about that. Here are those clips. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is Mel from Melanor Reads, her Witch's Brew TBR and the stuff that we're going to. She made a bunch of different recipes, and basically we are going to try to make these recipes in our readathon. So I am going to do Monsters Wine, and I am in the middle of 2 books. So I need to read a book. But you've been avoiding it, and I'm going to count that as Iron Flame because I have read this once and I really disliked it, and I'm going to count this as the book that I'm avoiding because I am not excited to reread it. I'm really excited for Onyx Storm. I'm afraid I won't like it because I struggled when I read it the first time I read it, but I am about 8 chapters in and I'm having a much better time with it, like physically reading it. So that is where we are with this. So I'm going to read this for a book that I've been avoiding. And then also, a book that is a 5-star reproduction, I am going to read Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. So these are the 2 books that I am going to put on immediately. And then the other books that I have to get is I have to read a book that has multi-point of views. I have to read a book that matches the vibes of your current favorite song. I need to read a pretty book. I need to read a book with a villain as the MC, and I need to read an audiobook. And if this goes longer than a week, that is totally fine. So, you are going to see a couple of clips of me talking about Fear the Flame next. So, this is going to be for a book that is a 5-star reproduction because I've heard really, really good things, and I'm going to attach those clips here. And now I'm back, and now we're going to talk a little bit about Iron Flame. So I'm 8 chapters in, and immediately, right off the bat, the audiobook is hitting for me a lot better. I really liked when we got into the story that we did stay with, well, this is going to have spoilers, so if you haven't read Iron Flame, I don't know why you're watching this section, but the Brennan part really made me more interested in, like, kind of seeing what was happening, and I'm really liking it. I'm feeling immediately more connected to the characters now that I'm listening to the audiobook. So yeah, that is where we are with that. So yeah, my goal is to hopefully do Monsters Wine, and also wrap up Paws and Bookshelves. So yeah, I am going to go read a little bit more of all my books. I finished listening to what I was listening to. So yeah, that is my plan. And again, I may like swap them at the end. Like I could also count Iron Flame as a audiobook. So I don't know. But right now, that's what I'm going to do. A book that I've been avoiding, I'm going to count as Iron Flame. A 5-star reproduction. I'm going to count as this, but also this could count as a 5-star reproduction. So there are some options. At the end, I'll tell you what counts for every single prompt. But my goal for this week is to make Monster Wine. And I will talk to you when I have more of an update on my physical read. Bye, book friends. Hi, book friends. So this is Laura from Friday, now that I'm home. So I did not vlog this week. It was a bad week. It wasn't a bad week. I was just really trying to finish Iron Flame this week, and it did not happen. So in the current moment, I am on page 258 in Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, and I'm really enjoying this book. I have moments when I'm really into it, and I think it's a fun read. I really like the vibes. I love the writing. I'm just like, sometimes the writing like takes me out of it, or sometimes there's like a pacing thing. But when I'm in it, I think the pacing sometimes, I feel like it's sometimes a bit of like a jump. Like I feel like you're in a scene, the scene makes sense, and then you jump, and there's kind of like less connective tissue to why those scenes make sense. But I am really liking it. Like I'm really having a fun time, and I could almost even look that a little bit. So I'm having a great time with this book. If you're looking for something that is very, very dragon focused, I would pick this one up. So I'm on part 3, The Heist, and I'm just having a fun time. I like all the side characters, but there is a bit of like pacing structure issues of this story that I'm struggling with. It has great mental health rap. I think it has great talk about anxiety and depression. I'm having a fun time with this. And I really just want to keep reading it, but it's been a week where I have been very like doing other things, so I think it got a little bit floundered. So, but also because Brittany Love Reading is in the middle of doing a readathon, you know, I need to be a part of all the things, and I'm also doing Mel from Melanor Reads. So, yeah, that is where we are. I talked about the Melanor ones in another one of these 2 books, what they fit for, but I haven't talked about the Wicked Readathon yet because I just forgot it was happening. So this is gonna be a book that I would say is hyped just because I've picked it up for booktubers favorites. Some people have enjoyed it, so I'm going to put this for Brittany Loves Reading for a hype book. And then for Iron Flame, it is going to be No One Mourns the Wicked, Good News She's Dead, because this book contains a lot of deaths. So those are the 2 books I'm in the middle of reading, and on Iron Flame, which I'm having such a better reading time with, can I just announce that publicly? I'm on chapter 36 of this one, and I'm like really, really having a good time with this book. I really like it. We just got to the part where like, I remember when I was reading it in 4th Wing that like all the pieces and all like the characters were finally like working together. And I think that for a lot of this book, that was not the case. And I feel like this book does read super slow for a majority of it, and it was a little bit boring. But I'm really liking this book as well. So yeah, that's where we are. And yeah, my secret goal is to finish these 2 books this weekend. And kind of move on, but honestly, I have no idea. I also need to read a book that has DOG in the title at some point this weekend for the end of my 4 Paws in a Bookshelf vlog, which kind of got scrapped a little bit, but I am still doing all the prompts. So I just need to read a book that has DOG in the title, so I'm gonna work on that as well. But, so my goal right now is to go do my editing and make sure everything is edited for this vlog so I have it, and then I have to go film my TBR game, which is going to take me a while to do. So I'm going to go do that. Then I'm going to go take all my Instagram photos and all that other fun stuff. And you guys will see me when I'm finally ready to sit down and read. So I'm going to go get this vlog set, go film my TBR, and then we are going to get to reading, hopefully. Well, unfortunately, I am not going to be able to show you the rest of this vlog because I filmed it all in slow motion. So I don't have any more clips for this vlog for you guys. So if you check out my wrap up, that is probably out before this, you will see all my thoughts for Fear the Flames. And I'm going to do a whole series review of Onyx Storm because I lost all my footage for the reading vlog I was doing. So if you want to see all of the dragon books I was reading, go check out this vlog. I will tell you just the reviews if you care to know that. This was a 4.75 stars. I really had a fun time with it. I struggled a little bit with the pacing, and I also gave this one 4 stars on reread. I really liked my listening experience, and it was a much better reading experience, and I really thought the ending was surprising. So for these 2 books, they were really, really fun, and I'm happy that I filmed the vlog. I'm just sorry that I put it in all slow motion, so I can't show you guys the real clips. But yeah, so yes, that is where we are. I will see you guys for another video. Hopefully no more slow motion issues.